Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Shirley L. I'm here to tell you my story. If you can't speak English, please don't interrupt my class. At 17, coming out of Columbia, that was my first welcome into the US educational system. I was an undergrad taking a general chemistry class by a great name, Dr. Dickinson. Never forget. When I first encountered him, I had a choice to make at that point. Was I going to shrink? Or was I going to be that person that one day would stand in front of you to share my story, how I came to medicine? At 5, at the tender age of 5, I remember vividly sitting in a room with 6 grown men holding me down, trying to put stitches after I fell off my bike. That time was the time when I decided, I like medicine. I kind of like this power. I like the authority. I like the ability of helping somebody when they're afraid. Solid 5-year-old logic. That was the start of my career in medicine. Move on a few years later, I was here. I was in this country trying to figure out my way, working my way through college, paying my way through being a grown-up and taking care of my own college bills. And it is when I became interested even more in medicine and I applied to medical school. I took the MCAT. I failed it once. I took it again. I passed it. That was not brilliance. It literally was persistence. Then I applied to medical school. And the first round, it was a long year of waiting and waiting. And I did not make it in the first round. But I did meet Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson was an admissions counselor at the school, one of the schools I was rejected from. And he highly recommended that I apply to the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine to beef up my application. I went to the biomedical sciences program, and mind you, Mr. Jackson was out of an allopathic school. And I said, okay, I will follow the advice because I was trying to do the best I could to make it the next time. And that was when I found osteopathic medicine. Coming from Columbia, we had doctors. There were no MDs, DOs, it was doctors. You were a regular doctor. So I knew nothing about osteopathic medicine, but thanks to Mr. Jackson, I found it at PCOM, and I never looked back. That's where I stayed to complete my biomedical sciences program. I went to medical school at PCOM, and I decided that at third year, I was going to be a family medicine doctor. And the reason I loved it was because it didn't force me to choose one body system. It didn't make me choose one operation or procedure. It allowed me to choose the whole person. I could take care of them and do absolutely everything for them, and that was my dream. And when I went to residency, that's what I aimed for. I wanted to take care of them when they were babies, when they were grown-ups, when they were adult, when they were pregnant, when they needed a procedure. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a doctor in the middle of nowhere taking care of everything. The biggest barrier that I found there was myself. And at that time, I never knew that I was, wrestling as a 5-year-old, 6 grown man. Now I was going to wrestle myself. And while everybody believed that I could do the things that I wanted to do, I was not there. After rejection, after failure, I did not see myself becoming a physician and a physician that I wanted to be. It was then that I met Dr. Danoff. He was my program director in residency. And he always told me, if you dream it, you believe it. And the problem was that I just wasn't dreaming big enough. Once I decided to listen, and this is my message to you, to listen to all your mentors. Once I listened to him, I started to wonder, this is really what he wants me to be. He brought me here. He brought me to a COFB 15 years ago and got me engaged in leadership, got me engaged in teaching, and I never knew why. And thinking about it, fast forwarding, 10 years later, I finally understood why. I now can stand here to tell you guys where I came from, how somebody like me who was doubted, who had a Mr. Dickinson telling them that they could not speak English, they shouldn't be standing in front of a room speaking to anybody. When I doubted, when I couldn't make it into medical school and taking my MCAT, and I met Mr. Jackson, I now stand at the school that Mr. Jackson told me to go and beef up my application. I am now a leader at that school, and I'm able to teach residents and teach other people, other medical students at that school, how to be in medicine, how to become a family medicine physician. That's what I do for a living, is what I do the most and I love. So I'm here to tell you that no matter what, no matter where you come from, you are going to have your own doubts. You're going to have yourself sometimes as the barrier for the doubt that you had. And I can now look at my 5-year-old self and say, hey, I did gain some power in a different way. And I get to help others now. I get to help people get through their hardest times in life. I get to walk with them in their path. I take care of their diabetes. I take care of their depression. I take care of all the things that they need. And this is why I chose family medicine and why I'll never look back. Thank you all.